We spend so much time wondering, what are men really thinking? We analyze texts, decode emojis, and overthink glances. But sometimes the truth is simpler than we think. Men are visual creatures, that's not a secret, but what they're looking at isn't always what you expect. When we talk about attraction, the first thing that often comes up is how visual men are. And it's true, men tend to be more visually stimulated than women. But what's often misunderstood is what that actually means. Being visual doesn't mean shallow. It doesn't mean men only care about perfection, symmetry, or magazine cover beauty. What it really means is that visual cues are the first asterisk, way men begin to form a connection. The eyes don't just notice, they interpret, they analyze, and they begin to create a story around what they see. When a man sees a woman, his attention is captured by what he perceives in that initial moment. But what keeps his attention and what begins to draw him in on a deeper level is not just the physical feature itself, but what it represents. A confident posture might signal strength or high self-worth. A soft expression may suggest warmth, openness, or kindness. A certain style might reflect individuality or playfulness. So yes, men are visual, but attraction is about the meaning behind what they see. It's the deeper message that the visual is carrying that makes all the difference. We often get stuck in the idea that we have to look a certain way to attract someone, to be a certain height, body shape, or have a specific feature emphasized. But that's a surface-level understanding of male attraction. What many women don't realize is that men are incredibly perceptive when it comes to energy. The visual is only the access point. It's the door that gets opened, but what's behind that door is what actually makes a man feel drawn in, intrigued, or inspired to pursue something more. So when a man notices a woman, yes, he sees the physical, but it's not the perfection of the feature that pulls him in. It's the feeling it gives him. A woman who walks into a room with certainty, grace, and a sense of self is often far more captivating than someone who is simply conventionally attractive. Men notice beauty, but they remember presence. They might admire a face, but they're impacted by the feeling that woman gives them in her expression, her demeanor, and her energy. This is why trying to chase an aesthetic ideal often leaves people feeling empty, because attraction isn't just about ticking boxes on a checklist. It's about connection, and connection begins with perception, not only how you're perceived by someone else, but also how you perceive yourself. That internal self-belief radiates outward, and it shows in your body language, your eye contact, your smile, and your movement. It's not about competing with anyone else. It's about aligning with the version of yourself that feels most alive, most empowered, and most real. The eyes are often called the windows to the soul, and for good reason. When a man first looks at a woman, one of the first places his gaze naturally lands is on her eyes. But this isn't just about color, shape, or makeup. It's about the connection that eye contact creates. The eyes have a way of speaking volumes without a single word being said. They reveal mood, confidence, emotion, curiosity, and even vulnerability. In a world full of distractions and noise, eye contact becomes one of the most powerful tools for creating presence and impact. A woman's eyes can instantly signal approachability or distance. When a man locks eyes with a woman who is fully present, who isn't hiding or shrinking, there's a moment of unspoken communication that takes place. That moment says, "I see you, and I'm not afraid to be seen." It's magnetic, it's authentic, and it's rare. So often, we go through the day avoiding eye contact, looking away, checking our phones, or being lost in thought. But a woman who makes deliberate, grounded eye contact gives off a signal that she's not only confident, but also emotionally available and attuned. Men notice this instantly, and it's not about intensity or staring someone down. It's about being real. When a woman looks someone in the eye with a calm, steady gaze, it creates a sense of connection that goes beyond the physical. It says she's not trying to hide behind a mask or a persona. She's showing up exactly as she is. That level of transparency is deeply attractive to someone who's looking for more than surface-level interaction. It triggers a deeper level of curiosity and interest. What's even more interesting is that the eyes don't just reveal how we feel about ourselves. They also show how we feel about the person we're interacting with. A fleeting glance, a subtle smile, a sparkle of interest. These are the things that men pick up on more than they're even aware of. A woman might think she's being neutral, but the eyes always reveal something. They tell a story. They show whether you're open, guarded, excited, disinterested, or intrigued. And that story often determines how the other person responds. This is why when people talk about chemistry, they're usually referring to something that began with the eyes. It's not about rehearsed lines or trying too hard. It's the quiet but powerful signal that comes from the way someone looks at you and how you feel in that moment. Are you being seen or just looked at? Are you making eye contact to connect or to impress? The difference is everything. Because when it's real, when the eye contact is honest, confident, and rooted in presence, it creates a space where attraction can grow effortlessly and naturally. A smile is one of the most underrated yet powerful tools of attraction. It's not just about how white your teeth are or how perfectly your lips curve. It's about the message your smile sends without you even realizing it. When a man looks at a woman, her smile is often one of the very first things he notices. It gives him a sense of who she is, what she's feeling, and how approachable she might be. A genuine smile isn't forced, rehearsed, or calculated. It's warm, spontaneous, and deeply human. There's something magnetic about a woman who smiles with authenticity. It shows confidence, not the kind that's loud and performative, but the kind that says she's comfortable in her own skin. A real smile sends a signal that she's not trying to prove anything, that she doesn't need validation to feel good about herself, and that she's open to connection. In a world where many people are guarded, a genuine smile becomes a refreshing invitation. It says, I'm here, I'm present, and I'm not afraid to show joy. What makes a smile especially powerful is how it affects the people around you. When a man sees a woman smiling naturally, it makes him feel at ease. It reduces tension. It creates a sense of familiarity and warmth, even between strangers. A smile can change the entire energy of a room, and it instantly humanizes you. It tells a man that you're someone who can enjoy the moment, who can find lightness even in simple interactions, and who has a grounded sense of happiness. Men notice when a woman carries that light in her expression. It doesn't mean she has to be constantly smiling or pretending to be happy all the time. In fact, forced positivity can be one of the biggest turn-offs. But the kind of smile that comes from a place of sincerity, even a small one, stands out more than any dramatic pose or exaggerated gesture. It's a sign of inner security. A woman who smiles with her eyes, whose face softens when she's talking, who laughs easily, gives off a signal that she's in tune with herself. Smiles are also deeply contagious. When you smile at someone, especially in those early moments of meeting or catching someone's attention, it creates a ripple effect. It can trigger a smile back, open up a conversation, or simply leave a lasting impression. Often, people won't remember every detail of what you wore or said, but they'll remember how they felt around you. And a big part of that emotional impression comes from something as simple as your expression. There's also an element of mystery to a smile. Sometimes it suggests playfulness, sometimes curiosity, sometimes knowingness. It leaves room for interpretation, and that subtle ambiguity can be incredibly intriguing. It allows space for a man to wonder, to want to know more, to feel invited without being overwhelmed. And that small gesture, that subtle cue, can open the door to something far more meaningful than just surface attraction. Posture is one of the most overlooked yet powerful indicators of confidence and self-worth. When a man first notices a woman, her posture silently communicates how she feels about herself long before she speaks. It tells a story, not just about how she holds her body, but how she holds her energy. The way she walks into a room, the way she stands when she thinks no one is looking, the way she carries herself when under pressure, all of it reveals layers of identity that words can't always express. There's something instantly attractive about a woman who stands tall, shoulders back, head held high, not in arrogance, but in quiet assurance. That kind of presence signals that she knows who she is. She's not seeking approval with every movement. She's not trying to shrink herself to take up less space. She's grounded. Her posture says she belongs, not because anyone else gave her permission, but because she gave that permission to herself. That kind of confidence is magnetic, not just physically, but emotionally. It draws attention without demanding it. Men notice this right away. Even if they can't articulate what they're seeing, they feel the difference. A woman who walks with poise creates a sense of curiosity and respect. She gives off the impression that she's emotionally solid, not perfect, but self-assured. She isn't hiding behind her phone or slouching in the corner. She's engaged with the world, connected to the moment, and unapologetically present. That level of presence is rare, and it makes a lasting impact. Posture also affects how you feel about yourself. When you stand tall, you feel more powerful. When you take up space with intention, you send a message to both yourself and the people around you that you are worthy of being seen. This isn't about being rigid or overly formal. It's about aligning your physical presence with your inner belief. When that alignment is there, your energy becomes undeniable, and people, especially men, pick up on that almost instantly. What's fascinating is how posture also influences the energy of interaction. A woman who carries herself with elegance naturally sets the tone for how she expects to be treated. She teaches others how to engage with her, simply by the way she moves through the world. This is a quiet kind of leadership, not loud, not attention, seeking but rooted in dignity. It sends a message that she values herself, and as a result, others are more likely to do the same. In social settings, posture can be the difference between being overlooked and being remembered. It creates an energy field around you that says, "I'm here and I bring value." That's not something you can fake. It comes from doing the inner work of believing in your worth, and then letting that belief show in every step you take, every gesture you make, every time you stand tall and claim your space without apology. Hands and gestures are a subtle but incredibly powerful part of nonverbal communication, and they play a much bigger role in attraction than most people realize. When a man notices a woman, he isn't just looking at her face or figure, he's observing the way she moves, the way she interacts with her environment, and the way her hands express what she's Feeling, the hands are an extension of emotion. They reveal softness, grace, intention, and presence. A simple gesture can express more than a paragraph of words ever could. There's something deeply feminine and captivating about the way a woman uses her hands when she speaks. Whether it's tucking her hair behind her ear, gently resting her hand on her neck, or making expressive movements while telling a story, each gesture reveals something unique about her personality. It's not about doing something on purpose to look attractive. It's about the authenticity and comfort that comes through naturally when a woman is relaxed and present in her body. That natural flow creates an energy that men pick up on immediately. The hands also reveal emotional states. A woman who fidgets or crosses her arms tightly may come across as nervous or closed off. On the other hand, open and relaxed hand movements create a sense of calm and approachability. Men are highly responsive to these subtle signals, even if they're not consciously aware of them. The way a woman holds her glass, the softness in her touch, the way she gestures while laughing or explaining something, all of it builds a story in his mind about who she is and how she makes him feel. Physical expression through the hands creates a kind of rhythm and flow in conversation. It adds depth to the words being spoken and helps build emotional connection. When a woman uses her hands with intention, it gives the impression that she is fully engaged and emotionally alive. That kind of presence is magnetic. It creates a sense of intimacy, even in casual interactions, and it's one of the reasons why men often find themselves drawn to women who have expressive body language. What's also powerful is that the hands can create a sense of comfort and emotional safety. A gentle touch on the arm, a supportive gesture, or even how a woman holds something with care can all send subtle emotional messages. These moments build connection without the need for overt flirtation. They allow for a kind of warmth and empathy to shine through, which often has a stronger impact than more obvious signals. Even in silence, hands can speak volumes. The way they rest, move, or respond in real time says more about someone's comfort, ease, and emotional intelligence than most people realize. Men notice when a woman is in tune with her own body, when her gestures are fluid, unforced, and aligned with her energy. That harmony between internal emotion and external expression is not just attractive, it's unforgettable. Movement and energy are two of the most instinctively attractive qualities a person can radiate. When a man sees a woman for the first time, he may not be consciously analyzing every detail, but he feels something. That something is often her energy, how she carries herself, how she moves through a space, how she interacts with the world around her. Movement is not just about walking or dancing. It's about rhythm, flow, and the subtle signals that are constantly being expressed through body language, pace, and presence. A woman's energy enters the room before her words do. Whether she moves with grace, confidence, playfulness, or calm, it sets the tone for how others respond to her. Movement becomes an unspoken conversation, a signal of who she is and how she feels about herself. Men are highly tuned into this, even if they can't fully articulate what they're sensing. When a woman moves with intention and ease, it communicates a quiet kind of self-assurance that is deeply attractive. It's the way she shifts her weight, the way she turns her head, the way she picks up a glass or walks across a room. Every small gesture tells a part of the story. There's a difference between movement that is controlled or overly rehearsed and movement that flows naturally from a place of comfort. The more a woman is in tune with her body, the more her energy feels aligned and magnetic. Men are drawn to women who move like they are comfortable being seen, not because they are seeking attention, but because they aren't afraid of their own light. It's not about being the loudest or most noticeable person in the room. It's about being present in your body and letting that presence speak louder than anything you could say. Energy is what lingers after the physical impression fades. It's what creates that sense of intrigue, the feeling that there's something about her that's just different. Movement is the physical manifestation of that energy. When a woman moves with authenticity and doesn't second guess herself, it shows. She doesn't have to prove anything. She just is asterisk. That effortless quality is what makes her unforgettable. It's what makes people turn their heads even if they don't know why. Men also interpret movement as a sign of emotional availability. If a woman is stiff or closed off, her energy says she's guarded. If she's too rehearsed or overly deliberate, it can signal insecurity. But when her movements are relaxed, when she responds to the moment rather than performing for it, she gives off a vibe that's both approachable and confident. That creates the perfect balance: mystery without distance, openness without neediness. The beauty of movement is that it's deeply personal. No two people move the same way. Your movement is your signature. It reflects your story, your mood, your essence. And when that movement is in harmony with your inner world, it becomes one of the most powerful ways to express who you are without saying a single word.